Are we actually going?
My roasting.
I forgot it in the oven.
Did we start? For real?
New Year's!
Yay.
Hey, happy New Year, bruh.
Now we gotta restart.
Yeah, we gotta.
I'm not restarting. The
We're not
button's going.
restarting.
No,
Okay.
I pushed the button. Here we go.
So guys, let's go around the table and introduce yourselves. I'm Alex.
I am Derek.
Oh, I'm Thomas.
I'm Kevin.
Josh.
Tom forgot that he had to talk, so that's great.
I'm just trying to sabotage it. I'm sorry.
This is
I'm,
gonna be a.
It's
That's
gonna be a long cast.
Right in the middle.
Tom's that guy.
I'm just that
Yeah.
guy.
He's the guy at work that nobody's happy when they see him walk in.
He's the guy that pokes the hole in
but
the
actually, I
condom.
know from real experience.
Yeah.
That's true. like everybody's like, oh,
Oh,
no,
he's
it's Tom. Oh, it's the director guy.
Everybody, it's Tom.
Now, speaking of directors, I think I know we're doing Batman, and when we're talking about Batman, I don't think you could do it without talking about Christopher Nolan and what he did with those 3 movies.
Which was it? Insomnia, Memento, and
Interstellar.
yeah. Wait, are we talking about
Christopher Nolan.
I just got that out.
like Memento, Interstellar?
No, we're
like,
talking about
those
Nightmare
movies?
on Elm Street.
You saw-
Hit that movie by him.
Yeah,
that one.
I love Christopher Nolan's
I
Nightmare on
love-
Elm Street.
When
Yeah,
I
well-
see him, I'm gonna be like, I loved you in
Christopher
Nightmare on
Nolan's
Elm Street.
series changed the way that Batman has been portrayed.
Oh yeah,
For-
he was the first guy who's like, these superhero movies, let's make a real one.
Yeah.
And let's not make it cheesy. And it's actually good.
Yeah, he actually breaks down Batman throughout the series.
It involves a lot of the
Yeah.
crime drama stuff, which is, it builds a lot of realism with it. And I think that's my favorite aspect is like, you can watch them without even the context of it being a quote unquote superhero movie and still like actually enjoy the movie. Meanwhile, any other superhero movie, if you take out their superpowers, the movie's going to be really dumb.
Yeah. Yeah, they really force it on you. a lot of
Logan's
the
pretty
time.
good too. That actually works as a movie, even
It
if
really
they don't have
does,
powers.
Yeah.
So Logan works.
I
The
haven't
Dark
seen that
Knight
one yet,
movies
actually.
work.
I gotta see that still.
With the exception of Dr. Manhattan and Watchmen, everyone else just doesn't have powers. They are all realistic heroes. They just wear garish costumes, if anything. I mean, it's just the one character. So that kind of works.
Gotta get him.
Is that movie work without power?
No.
We are Venom.
Oh my God.
Amazing.
I mean, it
input,
could just be
Derek.
like some vet
Absolutely
with
incredible.
like PTSD.
Perfect input.
Wolfgang's like, we gotta go see
I haven't seen
Venom,
it,
and we saw it at the theater, and thank God they had reclinable seats because I'm like, Venom's okay, it's here.
Dude,
Venom, get him.
Wolfgang's our third fan, dude. Chill out.
He's our third fan from the Sun.
Don't fuck with him, because otherwise he won't
He
listen.
looks a little bit like Joseph Gordon-Levitt, though. Like if
Me? Or-
no,
He points to
Everything
Tom,
is
and
about
Tom thinks
you,
he's
Tom.
no,
You pointed at me.
Wolfgang.
What are you talking about?
Yo,
Wolfgang, as we point to Tom.
yeah, as we point this out.
Is your name Wolfgang? It could be.
He could be.
Hey,
In
$5
alternate
is
universe at
$5.
another time.
I just legally got my name changed.
Is all
Hey,
it
I'll-
takes is wait. $5 is $5
I'll
to
be whoever
change your
you
name
want.
to Wolfgang.
Hey, $5 is $5. I'll be whoever you want me to be.
who's got the least valuable name at this table?
Kevin, right here.
That was Mike number 3, aka Kevin.
Yeah, yeah.
Meanwhile, in Batman.
In Batman.
in Batman.
Well,
In
like,
Bat-
the 3 main enemies in those 3 movies were blanking right here.
Ra's al
Liam
Ghul.
Neeson.
Ra's al
Liam
Ghul.
Neeson.
Liam Neeson.
With the Scarecrow.
Heath Ledger.
Heath Ledger.
Scarecrow, yeah.
And Venom.
And
Venom.
Yeah, and Venom. Obviously.
No, Bane.
Wrong
Tom
universe.
Hardy.
Tom Hardy.
Tom Hardy's
Yeah.
a darn good.
All,
He did a
Damn
really
good.
good job with that
all
movie.
3 of them
He
are
did a
amazing
really good job
actors,
with
and
that
they
movie.
did great.
to know. It's time to die.
You know, Liam Neeson kept with his usual role of dying at the end of
Yeah.
every single movie.
Spoiler.
Hashtag Qui-Gon.
Sorry, guys. Spoiler.
Is the best Jedi.
You know, what-
Hashtag Qui-Gon is the best.
When the first one came out, like, I don't know, I was young, so I guess I didn't really have the same kind of appreciation for it. But like looking back on it, you were kind of like, "Holy shit, what a first movie!"
Yeah.
I
to
remember
have.
watching that as
You
a kid,
know.
and I'm sitting there and I'm like, I can't wait for another Batman movie.
Yeah,
and then The Dark Knight
I-
came out, I was like,
I kind of
Yeah, just kept
knew
leveling
Batman
up.
like a little bit, and I watched that and I was like, "Whoa, this is pretty freaking sweet." You know,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
What I liked
I don't know.
about The Dark Knight was how it didn't just sort of introduce anything. It just started. You were just thrown in.
yeah.
It didn't even have a title sequence. It's just like, some
That
smoke
bang
and some
scene.
Yeah, it's just
Batman
like,
symbol, and then bam, bank heist.
dead parents. Boom.
That bank heist is incredible.
Yeah.
in Dark Knight
In the
to open
second
it
one,
up.
oh
yeah. When-
See, I was
it's all practical too.
My-
Everything's in camera.
the first
and
time I
done.
saw that, I was with my mother at like the Jersey Shore, and they had a movie night on the beach, like on a projection screen with really loud speakers. So when they bust the window open, it was so freaking loud. I jumped, and like everyone was like, sitting there just, and it was completely silent, just music moving around. All of a sudden, boom! And I was like, oh my god! It scared the shit out of me.
That's how a lot of movies are nowadays. They
Oh,
pump
it
that
scared the
audio.
yeah,
shit
yeah.
out of me.
If only they were all as good as The Dark Knight.
Everybody knows whatever's the loudest is best. That is why when Metallica album's the greatest of all time.
Oh, Death
Death
Magnetic.
Death Magnetic.
I was gonna-
It's all the loud.
I was gonna say that's why Michael Bay movies do so well.
Michael Bay movies are the best. because they're loud.
Explosions, loudness.
Take that audio sample of him just saying that about Michael Bay movies, so I can use that. For
Michael
future
Bay is the
reference.
only genre.
Michael Bay R is the only genre. That's the one I'm gonna use actually. I don't know how to mark things in Studio One because like in Pro Tools you can hit enter and it'll like mark something and I can name it. I don't know how to do that on this. And I don't want to. I don't want to screw up the
it'll
audio.
be okay.
Directed by
I'll find it. It's around like
Everyone is
189.
liable
I'll
to
find it.
explode.
Thank you for that input.
Explosions.
Thank you for the input there.
Verbal explosions.
Man, Derek's like, it's funny because Derek's like having the little brother being in on like the serious podcast. He's the loud one who's just constantly trying to screw
Hey
up
guys, I'm a
like
part of the
everything.
team.
Yeah.
I'm the little brother sidekick.
He's sitting in the little chair and Tom's just like,
Anyway,
fuck,
I've got
I
the
gotta share
only
my mic.
available
That's
chair left in the
cunt.
room.
So we talked so with Nolan we got Batman Begins, which is a great start. We got Scarecrow, Ra's al Ghul. It's really cool. I don't have to save you. I don't have to save you. And he
Yeah.
flips
Yeah.
out.
I won't
Slap
kill you. I
somebody.
won't kill
know
you, but
you
I don't
have
have
to
to save
save
you.
you.
What a
That's
great
Oh
fucking
my god, I
line.
love that
yeah.
line.
In that
He
movie.
does the loophole with his classic, I will not kill anyone. rule.
Yep.
And he's like, I don't have to kill you. I'm gonna kill you.
Yeah.
But I don't gotta save you.
Yeah.
man."
And
that's
And
the
then
one
just
that he
pieces
flips
out and
out.
flies away.
I do love Batman Begins, and then Dark Knight. Oh my god.
Yeah, Dark Knight is.
I mean, every scene in that movie is great. Like,
It's amazing,
it's just great.
I think the only problem I had with that
Just like-
movie was the fact that Heath Ledger died and they couldn't have made it the two movies that
Yeah.
Christopher Nolan really
Yeah, it was
wanted.
supposed to
Yeah,
be
that really
Joker
The
is
pissed me
Joker.
sequel was supposed to be the Two-Face part, which, that's
Yeah.
why I always
Yeah.
felt his part in the movie was so crammed in, but
Yeah,
it's like
that's
they had to
kinda
make
how I
the
felt.
time. They had to
Yeah.
tell that story.
Yeah.
But I loved how they did it. They did a realistic take rather than, oh, I've got schizophrenia, I've got a dual personality, I'm just gonna kill people.
You
for
imagine
no
how
reason.
different that movie would have been if he died just after the movie came out? Because he died
Oh,
right
yeah.
before it came out, so like
Yeah.
they had time to like switch some stuff up and
Yeah.
like edit it, so like he didn't like move into the next
know,
his
right?
next role. So like
And
that
then
would
they
that
couldn't
could
have-
have messed up the third movie.
It could have.
Yeah.
But at least they were able to
Yeah.
complete the story. I just
Yeah.
think it's a shame that they let the Joker live at the end and Two-Face got killed, but the actors were reversed.
Yeah, yeah.
So now they couldn't really do what they wanted to do. But The Dark Knight Rises was
Tom
a
Hardy.
decent replacement.
yeah,
to
yeah.
that.
They
See,
Tom Hardy.
He's great. He's really is a
Not
great
you,
actor.
Tom.
I do love him.
Okay.
He's great.
Pointed at me for a second there, so I was like, "Oh,
Derek.
are you talking about me?"
Derek Bronson.
Bronson.
yeah,
Tom Hardy's great. in
Bronson.
Bronson. I
He's
love
in
Bronson.
He's
I
in
love.
Lawless.
Bronson.
He's in.
Oh yeah, Tom Hardy's Dunkirk. And
Mad
he's in
Max,
every Nolan
Fury
movie.
Road.
He's
in
in
a bunch
Inception.
of shows. He's in Peaky Blinders. And
Yeah,
Peaky
Peaky
Blinders.
Blinders.
I love how he's a Cockney Jewish man
Yeah.
who's just like, I don't care about anything. Oh well, Arthur, I thought we were going to be friends, and then just like beat someone up.
is that the whole premise? Is that
I just what
Is
it's
that all
about.
Basically,
And
that's his role in it. Yeah.
that's his role?
Peaky fucking Blinders.
Peaky Blinders.
fucking Peaky Blinders.
Oh my gosh, Tom Hardy.
Yeah. Amazing actor.
very-
He played Bane, a character
Bane.
that came in the 90s.
Yeah, and he broke Batman.
Yeah,
And he
breaks
did-
That's the one of the
Batman's
coolest
back.
iconic
scenes,
moment.
though.
Yeah.
When he brings
He just
Chris-
raises him
Bam.
above, smashes him
I
on
can't
his
watch
knee.
that with a straight face because you can tell it's like it's a rag doll.
Oh come on!
I'm pretty sure they-
Dude,
Dude,
there
Little
are
Women Wires.
twice in that movie I have spotted tripods. I
Really?
shit you not.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, when they're going through, it's when they're going through the tunnel system. Him and Anne Hathaway are going through the tunnel system. You know, like if you look really closely, like
You
the
see
camera
shit.
pans by it really fast, but you can see the tripod with like the big batteries for cameras on it.
Yeah. Wow.
It's ridiculous.
Here's
That's
a problem
funny.
I had about it. Since when was Dick Grayson a cop?
It wasn't actually Dick Grayson. He was an original
But I thought he
character,
was-
John Blake, who was introduced at the end of the
Oh, he's
movie
not
with the
Dick
first
Grayson.
name of Robin.
Oh, okay.
This would be like if I introduced myself in another ripoff movie and said, "My name is David Smith, Spider-Man David Smith. Spider-Man is my first name."
Yeah.
It's like, wow, way to
That's
just
true.
shoehorn
I
in
mean,
the
there's-
Robin reference,
There's a
guys.
bunch of different Robins though. Like,
Yeah, but this one was like none
My
of
favorite
them. He
is
was just
Iron
his
Robin.
own. I what? What?
No, there's a soccer player, Ian Robin. He's Dutch.
Dutchman.
So he likes Battlefield Earth because it uses his angle.
The Dutch angle.
And then there's the Dutch oven, which little different.
We're in a small enclosed space. We don't need any of that.
We're getting off track.
Yes,
Go
we are.
back.
We're off the track.
You know,
Anyway,
it's kind of funny. I haven't watched Batman Begins in a long time.
Same.
yeah,
like,
it
this
has
is the
been.
first
It's been
one.
too long.
I think because like I always want to gravitate towards watching the second one
Dark Knight,
because the
yeah.
second one was so
Yeah.
fucking perfect. It's just
Oh yeah.
oh man, Heath. How many times do you mention Batman? Someone automatically says Heath Ledger, but for a damn good reason.
Yeah.
Like all the scenes he had, like one-on-one, like the interrogation scene is great. The one with Two-Face is
Yeah.
fucking great. The whole
Well,
scene
yeah,
in
when
there.
the gun up to his head.
Introduce a little
Ooh,
anarchy. He
the
pulls
scene
gun
where
out.
he's
It's
talking-
so psychologically fucked. It's just
It's
his
great.
character is so good. They wrote
Agent of
that,
Chaos.
they wrote that character so
Oh yeah.
fucking well.
You want to know how I got these scars?
But guys,
I love how every story is just it's like
It's
every story is
different.
different, so it's like
but it's not
bullshit.
good though, guys, because it's not Marvel.
Yeah, there's like a
It's not Marvel.
conspiracy about how when he says, if a truck full of soldiers gets blown up, that
It's an eye.
Nobody
like
panics.
maybe that was his backstory. That's what happened to him. That's what fucked him up.
Subtle hints at his.
Like
backstory.
he was a soldier and a
When
truck
he has
got
the
blown up, so
story-
nobody
Yeah,
panicked.
He
Oh,
does.
yeah.
He does change his story.
And the thing
to
with the
fit
wife,
person.
and it changes
Yeah.
from scene to scene. His character does change, which is cool because he tells the story differently. And it's like, wait a minute, is that a true story or is it?
Yeah.
Or are you
That's
just
kind of
crazy?
the charm of the Joker, though. You don't know.
You
his-
don't.
I
You
take
don't
back
know
what I
his
said about the
origin.
tripods
You
because
don't
I
know
just
where he came
remembered
from, he
it
just
might have been
showed up.
construction ones. Yeah, I just realized that.
There is a scene, however, in The Dark Knight Rises where
Yeah.
Catwoman and Batman are on a roof in a fight, and this guy's like swerving and then pretends to fall down like he got
But he
hit,
doesn't get punched.
but wasn't even touched.
Yeah.
He just
Oh,
like,
really?
huh, 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 and then falls down.
I didn't even notice.
Maybe
that.
he's just like, I'm not getting hit by
You
him.
could-
Fuck
he's
that.
like,
I'm supposed to fall,
Yeah.
and then nobody even
that was the
hits.
best take though. Like
He-
That was the best one.
And the thing is that Heath.
So
Ledger-
that's what that feels like.
The thing about like those actors is like we obviously know that Christian Bale is known for going hard for his roles in a certain aspect, but Heath Ledger kind of took it to the next level because in that interrogation scene he's like, I want you to actually punch me.
Hit me.
And, like,
Hit
I don't
me.
know if you know that he's like, I want you to actually punch me in the face, and he's like, all right, fine, I don't give a shit. And so he like actually
face.
Well,
actually
Christian
Wait,
Bale will
that's,
do
wait
whatever
when
you
he
tell.
when he's like punching him. Over
yeah,
and
when
over
he's just
again?
like punching him on the ground, he's like, go ahead. He's like, you can hit me. I don't think he like hit him full force, but he still probably.
He made it look
socked him
good.
a little bit.
Yeah.
Made some contact.
I
Yeah,
do
at the
want to
very
say
least, he made
this.
it look
Didn't kill
good.
the actor.
He's so
Just
dedicated.
give him brain
He's so
damage.
dedicated to filmmaking that like when he yelled at that guy on set for doing stuff while I was trying to act, he probably was right. That
Yeah.
guy was probably really was being a bit of a dick or something. And like
Oh, you're talking about like
when he yelled at the guy on Terminator Salvation.
Yeah, that
set,
dude.
And it's like,
Wow.
yeah, maybe that guy maybe really wasn't doing a bad job.
Yeah.
Like I've been around
I saw
bad
this.
working people on set and stuff.
I saw this one
People who weren't
staged
wear
video for that
color.
audio track, and like there was like the person he was yelling at, the actor like playing him was yelling at was like wearing this like big black suit. It was just freaking hilarious. It was like a freaking of like Minecraft. He couldn't
Mine-
get a
Everybody's here
straight
trying to
face.
make me laugh.
Stop
Googly
making me
eyes.
laugh!
Like he's like in a green screen thing with this.
Yeah, I mean, so much of that green screen stuff, you have to sit there. Like, if you look at the
Oh, it's
prequels,
terrible.
when they shot the prequels, like all the stuff there, like
The Star Wars
the
prequels, to
balls on the end of
specify.
sticks.
Yeah.
How can you act seriously when you're like looking at a tennis ball at the end of a stick and it's
But-
like, oh, hello, character, that's definitely
But hey,
real.
Lee-
Yeah, it sucks for actors because you have to like whenever you have to imagine the reality that's around you. Like
You're not just acting,
You're eating
you know?
away at the potential.
I mean, think
Counting
about
on the
how it
fact that
was.
they have a good imagination and maybe they don't.
But even even those with good imagination, you're still eating away at their brain power.
But
I
think
mean,
about
their
how it was
potential.
for like Jurassic Park and Steven Spielberg stand up over their tennis ball. Yeah, it's roaring at you, scream. Like you have
Scream.
to.
Like your life depends on it.
Although they built real giant
They did,
animatronics.
though,
Yeah, that
but-
T-Rex was real, and that's why that's fucking crazy.
That's
in
just
that
for the
movie.
scenes where they have them, though. But when they're shooting the actors, they're not like sitting them in front of the big animatronic thing because that's dangerous as fuck.
Oh,
like,
yeah. Well, there's a lot of people who tell me the story that the scene when the T-Rex head
Oh, when
breaks
it burst through the
glass,
Jeep?
that was it.
That was an accident. That wasn't supposed to happen.
Yeah.
What scene? What scene?
It's the
Wow.
scene where the kids are in the Jeep,
I didn't
the
know that.
T-Rex bursts through the roof and tries to eat them. That wasn't
yeah, and they're
intentional.
sitting there
Tho-
holding up the glass.
yeah, that
Holy
they are
shit.
legitimately scared because this mechanical dinosaur is
And
falling
Spielberg's
on
like,
them.
keep rolling,
He's like,
keep
just keep
rolling.
rolling, keep it
I
going.
want that cut
Keep it
in
going.
there.
But like that worked out though. Like,
Yeah.
It sold the scene right there.
Yeah, it really
like,
did,
hey,
yeah.
I believe these children are afraid of being eaten by a Tyrannosaurus.
They're like,
Rex.
oh my god.
It's like this fucking
John Doherty was working the animatronic. Yo, guy, oh my
Hey,
god.
hey, hey! He's our fourth fan.
Hey, you got to give some of these actors credit, like Natalie Portman acting alongside a CGI character such as Hayden Christensen. I don't like sand.
No, he was animatronic.
He was an animatronic creature. I don't like sand.
He ran out of
They
batteries.
were
after
testing
the
to
third
see if we
movie.
would
Yeah, they
accept
did.
AI as truth.
We should get back to Batman.
Yeah, let's
Oh,
move
yeah,
on.
we should.
Let's-
Yeah,
Back to
yeah.
the
What
Batman.
happened to
let's
Batman?
let's move to
Animated series.
the
Animated
we can
Sorry,
do
this
the,
is where I
the
have no
animated
opinion
series.
at all.
Oh, I
Tommy Rob-
grew up watching the animated
Oh,
series.
yeah.
That was
so
Oh,
good.
same.
Mark Hamill as the Joker.
The
Oh.
best Joker, hands
I know,
down.
Yeah.
Sorry, not sorry, Heath Ledger.
I'm blanking. Batman is
Kevin Conroy.
Kevin Conroy.
Kevin
yes, yeah.
Conroy.
Yeah, he's got my own name and I forgot.
It's that name that I have. What is my name?
Yeah, yeah, but yeah, that's amazing. They have
It's such a
all
good
the-
series.
Every single cameo that you could think of in there, like
Oh my gosh, yeah, and it was like critically acclaimed.
I
It was
still
also
love-
innovative. Instead of animating on regular paper, they did it on black paper and then colored it in to give it that nighttime
Yeah.
And it
dark
was
look.
one of my favorite episodes is the one where they're doing the card game and they're talking about
Oh,
the Batman
They tell what
story.
they
I
did,
almost
yeah.
got
And
him.
then,
I almost got
Clayface-
him.
Oh no, Killer Croc. It
Yeah.
was a big rock.
I hit him with
got
a
him.
rock. It was a big rock, and everyone just stares at him dead-eyed, like, "The hell are you talking
Oh
about?"
yeah, I mean the
Croc?"
show. There's so many good episodes, and the Clayface one is kind of disturbing.
Yeah.
Oh, that one's messed
Yeah.
up. Actor
Yeah.
with a facial
You
deformity.
can never
gets
get away with that
drugged up
show
and then,
nowadays because they'd be
Oh,
like,
no.
it's offensive to children because it'll make them learn.
see the first
Oh,
episode.
it's not that. That show's just scary half the
Yeah,
time. Like
yeah.
this actor melts in a pile of chemicals and just like mutates, and then
Well,
it's like,
kids
oh
don't
my
see
god,
that
you've just
because they'll
morphed
never
into
know.
this weird thing.
The first episode of that show was actually not supposed to be the first episode that aired. I forget like what order it was, but it like they showed it like
I think
after
the-
like 13 episodes or something like that. That showed that.
I wonder
the
which episode that was.
They
originally
did that
bought.
with Firefly.
Yeah.
They ruined
They
that.
swapped the episodes and then ruined it for everybody because
Yeah.
they had no idea what was happening. But yeah, I remember the first episode of Batman the Animated Series was the one where he faces off against Man Bat. It's like, what better way, have his
Yeah,
animal
yeah.
opposite,
Yeah.
you know? And that was
Yeah.
actually pretty cool, just him flying around, trying to stop this giant.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Man
it's like
bat.
it's his equal but it's like
Exactly.
That's why I was kind of
yeah.
happy with the movies they've been doing and stuff. I thought Killing Joke was still pretty cool because
Oh,
it had
yeah.
that feel of the animated
yeah.
series.
yeah.
I loved that. Yeah,
I never really saw
didn't
much of
Mark
the movie
Hamill
all the way
do the-
through.
Mark
but, like,
Hamill and
yeah,
Kevin
yeah,
Conroy
they
came
both-
back to
yeah.
reprise the
I've
roles.
seen the
Tara
great
Strong
scenes
back
out of it,
as
and I
Batgirl.
Yeah.
saw the last scene where like the killing joke at the end of it, and I even read like the thing in the comics. It's a brilliant scene.
Oh, it's
Like, that's
fantastic.
a really freaking hilarious scene, like where Batman just starts dying laughing.
Oh yeah, right at the end.
And they're both
yeah.
there just laughing.
Yeah.
In the comics, the cops are there. In the movie, the cops aren't there.
Yeah.
So like people kind of wonder, like, did Batman just be like, ha,
Yeah,
ha,
all
just-
you ever
and
see
just
is that
yeah.
the cops
murder
are in the
shit out of him?
background. You don't know what happens
Yeah,
after. It's like,
yeah.
did
They
he
leave
kill
it
the
up-
Joker?
yeah,
did he
do
let him
something?
live?
One
Like,
of
what
my-
happened? It's
But I mean,
ambiguous.
it's Batman, so
It
like
is.
A brilliant as hell scene is from The Dark Knight Returns, the animated one.
Oh,
with,
I
like,
love that.
the older Batman.
Peter
and
Weller
And
as
they're in
Batman.
the.
I
they're
just
in the
started
tunnel
reading
of love.
those.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
reading
yeah,
them for
yeah.
this.
They're in the
beating
tunnel
him
of
up.
love, and he's like, see you in hell, and he twists his neck up out of place.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Joker just goes all suicide. It's like they're gonna see what you did,
Yeah,
and I'm
so
gonna
just
have a
seeing
part of
that
that, so I'm gonna kill
brilliant
myself.
And then later, like afterwards, when they like go through and they start burning the place, you can see Joker still smiling. Batman's like, "Stop laughing," and that was, fuck. That's a good scene. That's a
Yeah.
good.
And I love the line when he's
That's a good
talking to
part.
Superman. He's like, "I want everyone to know the man who broke you, Clark." He's like, "Listen, you came after me. I'm not gonna let you beat me. I'm the one who broke
yeah,
you."
it's crazy how the Joker is like that much of a character that he
Oh,
can go
yeah,
up against
him too.
Superman and still have like, it's like no problem. Still.
Oh my
like,
gosh, yeah. Did you guys ever see the World's Finest trilogy of episodes in the Batman and Superman animated series?
I think I did. Yeah.
It was where like Joker goes to Metropolis and starts going after Superman now.
Yeah.
It's like, you know what?
Yeah.
I'm gonna take on another superhero, and he actually does a fairly decent job
Yeah.
until Batman comes in.
yeah.
It's like, you know what? I can face off everybody except Batman. Batman's the only one who like truly vexes the Joker.
Yeah, they always do that. Like they switch suits and
Yeah.
stuff, and it's just like,
Oh my gosh. Oh, and there was an episode where they did that. Superman dressed up as Batman because Batman was missing.
Yeah.
He was like mind controlled by Brainiac.
hmm
And, you know, Superman's going up against Bane. Bane's like, aha, I'm going to break you. And he actually gets in like the iconic pose, and then Superman's like, nope. Beats up
Yeah,
Bane. He's
yeah,
like,
and
how are you doing
they
this?
got away with like they got away from breaking his back in the comics.
Oh my God,
And,
so
I mean
many-
in the animated
Yeah,
series.
so many times
yeah.
they got close. Even in Bane's first appearance, he
Yeah.
lifts Batman up like in Nightfall.
Yeah.
But then Batman gets out of it
Yeah.
because, you know, we can't cripple the Dark Knight.
Yeah, I mean, like you wouldn't have a show.
yeah.
yeah.
He'd be out of
Or he-
commission
or
for
he'd
like
be
a
Batman
year.
Beyond version of Batman when
Yeah.
he's a little
Yeah,
old
broken,
and crippled.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm old.
What's the animated movie with where like this? I don't remember if it's Robin that movie, but like he comes there and Batman shows up and he's like, I can forgive you not saving me, but of all the things he
Oh,
keeps over, he's like, why
that's
did you
Under the
leave
Red
this piece
Hood.
of shit under the red
Under the Red Hood,
Oh,
where
man.
Jason Todd comes back
Yep.
as the Red Hood,
Yeah,
and he's
Jason
like,
Todd,
listen,
yeah.
I forgive you for letting me die, but how could you let this piece of filth live for what he
Yeah,
did
and the
to
Joker's
us?
in the closet. And
He's
like,
just
he
laughing.
thinks
He's
it's
having a good time.
hilarious.
He's
Yeah.
happy.
He's like, if you keep talking, put one in your lap. He's like, party pooper, no cake. For
And I
you."
like how
It's
Batman,
fucking
they're in
funny.
a standoff. Batman defeats the Red Hood, like, you know, throws a batarang at his gun, defeats him. And the Joker is just like, you know what? This building's about to blow up. I'm the only one who wins. Ha ha ha.
Yeah, the Joker just keeps going mad. That's the thing, is like the persistence of the Joker's madness, and just like, I don't care what happens.
I don't
even
care.
care if I live. Like,
Yeah.
fuck it, let's
What's
go.
my life?
You
I don't
know?
care. It's for the Joker.
His goal is to mess with Batman, basically.
Yep.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
The ultimate foil.
As long as he can get something on Batman.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Now, one movie that I loved that did have the Joker along with Batman was Mask of the Phantasm.
It's right there. I just
Oh,
watched
yeah.
that the other week.
Oh my gosh, I
Yeah.
love that. That was my favorite Batman thing ever.
Oh yeah,
growing
yeah.
up.
Growing up, yeah.
And then not Heath Ledger, Mark Hamill
See, they
did
actually
his best work. He took his laughter to new heights.
Oh,
In an
yeah, hell
interview,
yeah.
he was saying, "Yeah, I just took whatever I
Dude,
did
he just
in the
goes
show."
out of breath and just
and-
like fucking just lets it go. Yeah,
like, oh my god,
it's insane.
And then at the end, where you see the Phantasm and the Joker, and then she looks at Batman. Spoiler alert.
it's
And
a
then
little
you know
late
she
now,
disappears. Joker's just like, you know what? I might die.
Yeah, it's crazy how they made him the main enemy of that when it was like,
Yeah, you
It's
think it's the
portrayed
one
as
thing,
someone
and then
else.
nope, it's someone else.
Yeah. yeah, that movie's amazing. Yeah, I
It
just watched it
really
on
is.
Blu-ray because they just released the animated series in
Yeah.
October in Blu-ray.
And it kind of
Yeah,
circled
you
back.
get that?
I like how
I got from my brother.
I like how Mask
yeah.
of the Phantasm is the Batman Begins of the animated series. You see Batman's previous
Yeah, it's like the
adventures
it's like the
into
prequel,
that.
yeah.
You know, he's just in flashbacks. He's just dressed up like a thug. He's wearing a mask. He's like, "All right, criminals, get on the ground, arms spread." And everyone's like,
yeah.
"Who's this clown?"
Yeah, like, and he still beats them somehow. It's like,
Yeah. Then he has to run from the cops, and he's like,
Yeah.
"Okay, no one's afraid of me. Like, they need to like fear and respect me, not just
Wh-
like
when he
oh,
first
look,
put
it's
his
this guy yelling
when he
at
first
us."
put his suit on and,
supposed to be super
Alfred's sitting there and he's just
scary,
like,
Alfred says,
like, oh,
"My
Jesus.
God."
Yeah, it's like,
He's like, and then Batman just like squints.
That's
and
why
is
they
all
should do a horror.
silhouetted.
They should do a horror Batman. Movie.
that would be cool.
I mean, Batman
That
could
could-
easily fit in horror.
Yeah.
I mean, depending on which villains.
They
you
just
get
need to
too.
not
Yeah.
do what Venom
Yeah.
did. You know, like make a good movie.
Do a Batman horror film.
Batman horror film.
Batman horror.
Yeah, you could do that with any of his enemies too. Just
Especially-
Clayface would be creepy.
yeah, hell yeah.
You guys ever hear of the doll maker?
Yeah,
Oh, that
he
one,
would
yeah, the
take
doll
people,
maker.
mutilate them, turn them into like toys and stuff, like a human Jack in the Box, a human doll, and they'd just be disfigured.
I
Dude,
have
that would
feet
take guts though.
lobotomized.
Warner Brothers would have to say, "Let's take a chance on a horror comic book movie."
Well, to be
Yeah.
fair, Fox was taking a chance with the
New Mut-
X-Men to
well,
do
yeah,
New Mutants as a
are
horror.
like, hey, 3 years.
I don't know how I feel about that. It's like these are teenagers who, you know, it's basically puberty, and you're
We're
just turning it into
teenagers.
horror.
because teenagers are horror.
I mean, teenagers are horrible.
Yeah.
You know, to be fair, I was one.
Yeah, speaking
No,
of the
you
doll
weren't.
maker, I just
Doll
started
maker.
reading the newer Batman, the
Yeah.
new 52s of it, and
yeah.
Did you see the
Joker
bat
gets.
penis?
Oh,
No, I did not see that.
you're
I did
gonna
not
talk
see
about
that.
how he got
I'm
his
kinda happy
face
about
cut
it.
off, right?
Yeah, yeah.
He asked the doll maker,
Yeah.
cut off my face.
Yeah, and then he leaves it in Arkham
Yeah.
And then like they're all looking for him for like this long ass time.
Yeah.
Like there's a couple books there where he's not in it, and he comes back, gets his face back,
wears it
and
like
he
a
like
mask.
gets fish hooks and like hooks it back on his
Yeah,
face.
he wears it like a face mask.
Yeah.
It's like, but okay. And then like I think that was part of like the death of the family
Yeah,
storyline,
yeah.
where he actually like figures out who Batman really is
Yeah,
and the
he
rest
get-
of it. He's like, I know who you guys are, and I don't care.
Yeah, he comes back and he does everything that he did originally when when Batman
Yeah.
first found him, and he did recreated all the crimes.
Yeah.
And now he's actually trying to kill the family.
Yeah.
So it's pretty crazy.
And I like how at the end, because you know Batman wins, I like how Bruce Wayne goes to Arkham, and Joker looks at him knowingly, like he knows he's Batman,
Yeah.
and he's like, I don't care.
Yeah.
If you're not Batman, I don't care. But
Yeah,
when you put on the suit,
he's got
I
some
care.
mental thing where like he can't accept that Bruce Wayne is Batman.
Yeah, he's like, this isn't the real
Yeah,
you. I want
yeah.
you to be the real you.
Yeah.
The real you is Batman.
Well, because he's the Joker and he's gotten rid of his other identity at that point. He's
Oh yeah,
only
he
accepting
whoever
of
he
his-
was
yeah.
before is like nothing.
Yeah.
Nobody.
What was he before?
Well, it depends on which iteration.
Yeah.
Sometimes he's a criminal.
There's a-
Sometimes he's a failed comedian.
Yeah, there's-
sometimes other things.
there's
He's
one in-
that guy who shot
Bill
Bruce
Burr?
Wayne's parents.
Bill
Bill Burr is the
There's-
Joker.
Bill Burr is the Joker.
There's one theory where there's
What up?
multiple
Look at-
Jokers,
look at this
Oh,
guy in
the
the
three
suit.
Joker
What a
theory.
and then
fig!
there's another one where he can't
Oh
die.
my God!
just
Is the suit
throughout
tight
time.
enough for you?
Oh, yeah,
You
he's a
man?
timeless
Look, you
immortal.
showed
Yeah.
this up. Oh, you want a banana split? What a fig! Look at his little batarangs. What a fig! Oh my God, a gun's too much to ask for you, you pansy.
Now we're gonna talk about MeUndies.
Me underwears.
Can we just say it? We have to say that like Tommy Wiseau does the best Joker.
Oh yeah.
Neil Breen as Batman.
jeez.
Tommy Wiseau as the Joker. Make it Hollywood. Make it happen.
I was gonna bring up Adam West and Caesar Romero.
Okay.
Those
That's
two.
the greatest combo.
Fuck,
Well,
the
hello,
Joker with the
old
mustache.
Yeah.
That's the
Yo,
main one
Adam
right
West
there.
Batman is top 5 all time. It's like
I think Val Kilmer did the greatest job.
Oh,
he's much better than George Clooney. Oh my
Yeah.
George
God.
Clooney did not take that character seriously
You know what?
whatsoever.
He didn't
Derek,
at all.
in Gravity, I was happy when George Clooney's guy floats off, and I'm like, haha, this isn't how physics works, but okay.
You know they were
Makes up
actually,
this
for
is what you-
Batman and Robin.
This is what you get for Batman and Robin.
they were planning a third movie with George Clooney in it, and it was actually like the person that was going
No.
to write. They wrote up like
Wrong.
a scene that was like supposed to have all the villains from the previous movies in it, but it's like Danny DeVito, Jack Nicholson, all these top
Jack
cast people.
Nicholson.
So like
Oh my
the
gosh.
people were just like, no, we're not making this movie because
No.
it'd be the most expensive movie ever made.
We-
Just
we-
for this one scene where like he gets like beat up, he's getting beat up, and
Oh
he
my
has a
gosh.
flashback, and all the enemies come in or something like that. And it's like,
Speaking of that, let's
How was
talk
he-
about those Batman movies, the Tim Burton and Joel Schumacher
yeah, Tim Burton's-
masterpiece.
Yeah,
I do think the two Tim Burton ones are pretty good.
I grew up
You're good.
watching
Love
those
Jack
ones.
Nicholson's Joker.
Jack
Michael
Nicholson
Keaton
is
as
great
Batman.
as everything.
Yeah.
So, Tim Burton ones, I think, don't. There's not a lot to say. They're good.
Dude, Danny DeVito's portrayal of
Penguin is
the Penguin
pretty,
used to scare the shit out of me.
Oh
when
my
I was
God, I
younger.
when he bit the nose off.
Yeah, and it's like
oh.
his hands like.
Yeah,
Yeah,
oh,
he was
yeah.
a circus
Like,
freak.
yeah,
I'm
he's
like,
Tim
ugh.
Burton knows how to get under your skin.
Yeah, yeah.
And yet be still whimsical. It's like, are you meant for children? I don't think so,
Yeah,
dude.
no, I don't
But you're
think
gonna
so.
fool some parents, so we're okay with
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's the Joel Schumacher Batman movies where it's like, let's get bad nipples. I want more bad
And
nipple.
Jim Carrey as
I was
the
gonna say,
Riddler.
yeah.
Like, what was the deal with that? He would have made
Tommy
a
Lee Jones
lovely-
as the most over-the-top Two-Face.
I think Robin Williams was gonna like originally cast to do that or something, but
yeah,
there's something
I
that
think he was
happened where he
somewhere
couldn't do
through
it.
one
There's
of
gonna be
them.
something.
What was he gonna be?
The
was he gonna
Riddler.
play?
He was gonna be the Riddler.
Was he the Riddler?
I think
that
Robin
would've been
Williams would've been the
But then they
Whoa.
did Jim Carrey instead. I forgot.
So
why.
instead of one comic legend, you get another.
Yeah. And Tommy Lee Jones,
And
who
Tommy
is
Lee
an
Jones.
amazing actor. But
Yeah.
Who did the voice acting for the Joker in the Lego
In the Lego Batman movie?
Batman? Yeah,
That was Zach Galifianakis.
Yeah,
Ah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Who was who was the Joker that did the most recent one?
Oh, Jared Leto?
Is that what it was? Jared Leto?
In
You talking about Suicide Squad?
Yeah.
Oh,
What
no,
are we, some kind of
even-
Suicide Squad?
I skipped that
How,
one.
do we, how do we feel?
I didn't
about
even
the
read
iteration
Suicide
of the
Squad. I
Joker,
forgot.
though?
I
It's
forgot.
an
That's the
original
thing.
idea of it, but I don't. It's not. I don't.
Suicide
my
I don't-
Squad happened.
Some people
Yeah,
were like, "Oh my god, this is the
It's
best
bad.
Joker version." I was like,
When the trailers were coming
not
out,
the best.
I
Definitely
was
not the best.
convinced
Trailers
that
made
it
it
was
look
going to
good.
be really good.
And
Yeah.
then they were like, "Ha!"
I mean, yeah, because John Iyer.
Skyrim.
Oh, no.
Apparently, there was like
what the-
90%
The director guy.
of
was his
like
name?
shooting
Something
with
Iyer?
the Joker that got cut out of the movie.
Oh,
that
I
they-
would love to have seen like
Yeah.
a cut with that.
Yeah. Here's the thing about Suicide
Something
Squad.
Iyer. I forget what. Not John
Hey
Iyer.
Tom, that's great.
But yeah, no. I mean, he did Training Day. He did Training Day. He did Fury. Like,
oh yeah.
it was so like.
Yo, there's a movie from 1935
David
called
Ayer,
Suicide
wasn't it?
Squad with Norman Foster. It's a 4.8 out of 10. Still better than CGI Squad.
Original-
So Suicide Squad with Will Smith is a remake.
"How do you guys
It's
tell?"
a remake. Okay, so here it is. Larry Baker is a young fireman whose daring exploits
Oh,
have led him
jeez.
to receiving a lot of newspaper publicity, which goes to his head. His sweetheart, Mary O'Connor. That's okay.
I don't think that's Batman.
Anyway, but here's the thing. Yeah, Suicide Squad, the guy who directed it, he had just been coming off of several good ones. David Ayer.
David Ayer.
David Ayer. Yeah,
David
Jared
Ireland?
Leto. Jared Leto. Let me say this. Jared Leto is... He's just...
this chick chat's gonna get
He-
you
He-
killed.
here's his biggest problem. They told him, they're like, do a Heath Ledger. And Heath Ledger
you
just
can't
spends
do
the whole
that.
movie trying to be this idea of chaos.
It
And then in one scene, Jared Leto just comes up, grabs this guy, this random dude, he's like, I'm an idea. And it's like, hey, instead of spending a whole movie trying to build this, I'm just going to tell you because you're an idiot. Hey, audience, we know you're a bunch of bumbling idiots.
You know,
But,
we took a whole movie to explain the whole idea of chaos and all that, but we're just gonna come right out and say, "I'm an idea."
I'm an idea.
You know, in case you couldn't have gotten that before. But then again, like nothing else except for that sentence told me that he was an idea in that
And
movie. He was just there.
The
The
other
movie
lines
was
in
just
that
like
movie?
the Joker is there.
Yeah.
Hey, Derek, for those of us that don't speak good guy, can you... that is literally a line. He's like,
For those of
oh,
us
for,
who don't speak good guy.
yeah, hey, and then what are we, some kind of Suicide Squad? And it's like, please kill
Yeah,
me.
it was pretty cheesy. There was some cheesy.
How do you guys
jokes
feel
going on
about
there.
the Kevin Richardson adaptation of the Joker?
Oh, are you talking about with
Oh,
Joaquin Phoenix?
Cartoon.
Yeah,
I was
the
gonna- I
newest
wanted to
one.
talk
about
the
Joaquin
Joker had
Phoenix's
a really
thing.
long face and the green hair, and he was like, "Here, this."
There's a
Oh, you're talking about from the
Oh,
Batman.
that's
Yeah,
from the
Bat- yeah,
2000s.
the
Batman.
new animated.
That
one.
was a
Yeah.
decent one. I thought the look was kind of
didn't-
like Monkey Kung Fu
I
like,
didn't- yeah.
The
but
look is
like
a little weird.
the
but,
acting
like,
was like, you know
I-
what? He does a lot of what he would have done.
It
and
kind
he
of took
there's
me
a
off
lot of
it
good
because I was
stuff in the
expecting like
character.
Mark Hamill's, I guess. Cause
Yeah.
that's
It
what
was
I grew up with.
interesting,
But, I mean, you
but-
can't keep Mark Hamill's forever. But
There's
Yeah,
a lot
that's
of
true.
good scenes in this.
Yes,
like,
you
with
can
the,
keep Mark
I don't
Hamill's
know,
forever.
like,
I'm
just
okay
I
with
did
this.
like Kevin Michael Richards. He'd
He
be
is
like,
permanent
Joker don't wear
Joker."
no makeup.
Yo, I'm excited for the new Joker movie.
Yeah,
though,
with
that's
Joaquin
coming
Phoenix,
Out with
yeah.
Joaquin Phoenix.
Now I wonder how that's gonna be, because one theory is, while it's in the 70s, Batman would be like 12 and he's already like 45. So it's like, what, Batman's gonna beat up on like
He has
an
to go against
80-year-old
Harvey
man? Or is this like a proto Joker, like the guy who the Joker like looks at and's like, you know what, I'm gonna rip that off. I'm gonna Amy Schumer that and steal that
That's
ass.
kind of what they're doing. I feel like that's what they're doing with Gotham.
Got
They're
him.
doing like
Yeah,
a,
Gotham's
like a
doing
prequel
that. What a
Joker
joke.
type
Yeah.
of thing because they gave him a name, Jerome, and
Jerome
Yeah,
and Jeremiah. I didn't
Jeremiah.
finish the series, so I don't know
Yeah.
how it ends. Don't spoil it for
Derek,
me.
you know
well,
how
I mean,
Gotham
the newest
ends?
season's still coming on.
With a bang.
With a Batman. Is it like what was it, Smallville, where he puts on the suit, but we did everything else in
The
canon,
super suit.
so there's nothing left for him to do?
Yeah, it took until the last episode, like 10 seasons into it, and it's like, oh, now I'll put it on. And it's just like,
it's
oh,
like
the
when you
last
play an
minute of
origin
the show.
game and then beat everything else, and then it's like, oh, now I have the costume for the character I've wanted, but now it's the end,
Yeah,
so
now
it's
there's nothing
pointless.
to play.
There's
left
nothing
of
to
the
do.
game. Yeah.
I've got all the costumes for this video game, and there's nothing for me to do except just, stop mild crime, because I beat every other
Well,
foe
that's
to
now.
beat.
You
now
know
they
what
have
the-
New Game Plus.
You know what the big
DLC!
Derek, you know what the
DLC?
biggest problem with Smallville is? It's not Marvel.
I'm
That-
sorry, if it doesn't feature a Stanley cameo, it's terrible.
Tommy,
Yeah.
got anything to add to this conversation?
Tom's not Marvel.
Oh.
I need
You
a
ever watched
T-shirt.
Smallville?
No, I never did actually.
Tom, have you ever watched anything?
No, I never did actually.
I haven't gotten around to it.
Maybe it's on my watch list. I'll get to it.
Movies,
You know-
they're on my watch.
I'll get
list.
around to it.
We kind of glossed over The Dark Knight Returns a little bit, and it made me think of a great scene in that thing where it was like the Joker like is sitting in the asylum, and he hears like multiple stories with the Batman on
Yeah.
TV, and eventually
Oh, yeah,
just
he
And he
starts
just
like
coming
turns
out of
around
his
and sees it.
catatonic
He's like
state.
the Batman.
Batman.
That scene was
Yeah.
just, I was like, ooh, that's good acting.
It's like in a world
that's
without
really
Batman, he
solid.
just shuts down and then just comes to life when Batman.
Yeah,
comes back.
yeah,
I love
exactly.
that.
He's
Yeah.
like all
Alex.
broken, and he just forgets
Remember
everything.
the superhero tournament thing? What was that called? Sean showed us at work.
Oh, that superhero showdown or whatever that was.
Yeah.
So the thing is, like, they're in the arena, and it's a cartoon thing, and they all fight.
Superhero bowl or supervillain bowl.
Yeah, the superhero bowl.
That was actually pretty funny.
Yeah, no,
Oh, that's that animated thing, right?
Yeah.
They did the supervillain bowl, which I liked better.
Why do you keep looking at my fucking
I'm
computer
seeing if you're
screen?
groovy, man.
Like, that doesn't
Quit looking at the
make
porn
sense.
while we're
Josh,
podcasting.
what did I say about whacking the whistle while we're waxing the whistle while we're recording?
Whacking the
Whacking the weasel.
You whacking the weasel, or ya?
Brandon.
Pop goes the weasel.
Nah, Brandon.
Now, Brandon,
That's why we got these pop guards here.
Don't bring that up.
popcorn
Pop,
is not a
pop,
vegetable.
Pop, 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 pop.
Apparently, popcorn's not a vegetable, and cop porn's not appropriate for a childhood classroom. So,
You like it with the handcuffs, do you?
I like handcuffs and rope
Oh, jeez.
and lube. Apparently, buying that all at Home Depot the same day was an inappropriate thing.
Wait,
Especially since
what do
you were
do
wearing
with
that
those
leather
things?
outfit.
Can you explain in detail what you do with those things?
Free real estate.
Be slow about it. Free real estate. That's the best you could come up with in that moment. Free
Right.
real estate.
Hey, it's free real estate.
It's free real estate. Wow. But you know what's even better than all that we just talked about? Justice League. I mean, what a better adaptation of Batman. You know, he just walks up to all of these random people that he doesn't know and just, hey, I'm Batman. Just please, you know
Yeah,
that thing
you
that
just
I've
kinda-
always been
yeah.
known
My
for
fan
hiding
club.
from people. Hi, Barry Allen. I know you're the Flash. I'm Batman.
See,
I'm Bruce Wayne.
The writing,
Huh?
the writing for it's not that great, but I feel like
I hate
I like the
this.
one
Ben
scene where the
Affleck-
Flash was just like, yeah, you're Bruce Wayne. Like, I know that.
Ben
Was it the
Affleck's
sa- are
like
we talking about
he's
the
the
same
right
one here?
build for Batman. He's
Ye-
like the right size.
Who,
Ben Affleck.
Ben Affleck, he did it. He did
like,
a good
he
job.
had
I
to
think
look
he's actually not
down.
bad in
Yeah,
Batman.
I think he's a
Batman
good Batman.
versus Superman, he's not bad. Justice League.
It's just the writing. That's what
Oh
I'm
my
saying.
god,
Yeah.
the writing's terrible.
I like how Superman turns that thing around and goes, "Tell me, do you bleed?
Well,
Huh,
yeah.
Bruce? Huh? It's not so funny now when I say it to you, man, is
The
it?"
best part of Justice League is the credits. When I found out it was over. This is like, please.
What are we? Some kind of Justice League?
Oh my god, it's so bad.
A League of
And
Justice?
they had just done Wonder Woman. I'm like, hey, DC finally learned like they're
Yeah.
actually
and
making a
Aquaman
movie.
is doing fairly well right now.
Yeah.
It's gotta
Yeah,
be-
can't
Aquaman,
fucking believe that character
Aquaman is a joke.
exists.
Oh my god. I go for a swim with the fishies and I talk to them.
I'll bring my
They
whales!
should have gotten Adam Sandler to be Aquaman. He's like, hey, you know, fishy, you want to go for a swim?
Oh my god.
I'm Scuba
Scuba Steve!
Oh my
I'm
God.
Scuba Steve!
There's like there's
Father.
the Family Guy adaptation of Aquaman with the joke like that woman's getting mugged in the beach.
And the
with
Mariner?
and he's like
That's
in the
the
water. And he's
Marvel.
like, I'm here. It's like Aquaman, help me. And he's like, hey, get off her, dude.
Yeah.
He takes a starfish and throws it. He's like, oh, he's coming for you. Yep.
Yeah.
He's gonna get you. And it's like, I'm because some of those fish don't swim around. It's like, man, if you were in here right now, let me tell you, you'd be.
Well, in the Justice League movie, he's completely useless until they're around water. And the bad guy fight at the end, they're in like the middle of like the desert. So Aquaman's useless.
Yeah.
They're like, Aquaman,
Hey,
please save those
hey,
people by walking to them
to
and
be
helping them out.
fair, he's got a giant trident with 5
And
prongs.
he's
And
he's really strong.
So
Yeah, what
dumb.
she said.
It's so
My man.
Justice League's such a dumb movie. It's
My
so
man.
bad. The part, Derek, we did this in the 2018 episode. I talked about how they're all in danger, and they're like, "Oh my God, we're in peril!" And then it just cuts, and it's like, "Wow, that was a doozy. I can't believe we made our way out of that one." And I'm just like, if this was Adam West Batman, I'd have been laughing.
Yeah, yeah.
That's hilarious. Instead, this is supposed to be a $300 million Hollywood film that's supposed to be serious. Are you freaking kidding me?
That's just the moment where they switched directors.
Yeah, it was the moment they switched directors and they're like, hey, Marvel's here. Everybody likes Marvel, so we're going to Marvel. Help.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
just saw
Remember
a
that
picture-
clearly better
Did they
movie?
switch? Did they go from Zack Snyder to Josh Whedon?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Why?
because
Because
Zack
they-
Snyder's kid committed suicide, and then he had to go.
Oh.
10
That's
years.
actually the scapegoat. Apparently, they wanted to
Oh,
fire him
fuck.
because they wanted it differently, and they didn't care.
Dude, that's fucked up.
Yeah.
That's fucked up. They
Poor
should-
Zack
they shouldn't
Snyder.
scapegoat.
Because
like
we're not
For real.
Marvel. We don't Marvel as good as Marvel.
Marvel. Would never say
Marvel,
that.
Marvel. Bye, Marvel.
It's funny because I was just looking at a picture of the Adam West Batman, and when they were grappling up a building, and they're literally just walking,
They're walking,
on something, and
yeah.
people are leaning over like this to make it seem like they're looking down out of a window, but you can tell they're just like leaning over.
Yeah.
It's like
It's so good,
always
though.
forced perspective.
It's apparently.
No,
Well,
it's
the thing
it's
about that
state
show-
of the art.
I heard they wanted to make that show like serious, and then when they heard what the budget was going to be, they're like, well, guess that's out the window.
Yeah.
So they're like, we can get felt costumes. Just get
Yeah.
people who can
Let's
be
find a label
actors.
maker and label everything.
Yeah. The bat repellent, the bat.
Fountain and stuff like that, you know. Bat radar,
The bat.
the bat dar.
What's a Terry? Right? Right. Batman's like, what's. Robin's like, what's a Terry?
Yeah,
bat.
battery. Yeah. Oh my god.
What's a Terry?
Oh my god, that was terrible.
Terry. A bat. Can you give me a battery? What's a Terry? Hey, save me. Rachel. Where are the other trucks going? Where are the trucks going? Harvey Dent, can we trust? Yo, I still remember the first time that College Humor video I watched.
Oh,
where
the
he
bad
beats
man.
the shit out of the clown.
Oh,
the random.
You see the Patton Oswalt one where he throws the
And he like
star in the
talks
head?
about
Yeah,
death.
He's just like, he's just sleeping. Look at him. He's just taking a nap.
That man is dead. Batman. No, he's just going to sleep like
like-
my fish.
He like shoots him.
Batman,
a bunch of
what you
times.
did to that fish is what you did to that man. I overfed these men. going back to the clown. The clown. He's
Clown
like,
where he beats him up. I got drunk at a birthday party. Oh, we're sorry, Bubbles.
Loud Derek.
Oh my god.
loud Derek is loud. Yeah.
Derek was full loud. He was Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan loud.
Never go full God. Super Saiyan.
Cheyenne.
Oh my god.
Yeah, but those College Humor ones are good.
They're the best Batmans.
How about Batman versus Superman? How's everybody feel about the?
I thought it was okay.
I thought it was alright.
I think
I thought it was
I-
decent.
Never
Yeah.
saw it.
It's not terrible. Tom
keep
doesn't
saying-
watch the
I haven't
superhero.
seen it. Why did I've
haven't
said that a
seen
million
I haven't
times.
seen it.
What is wrong with you?
A lot of things.
We know that. Tom.
He's a film guy. That's what's wrong with him.
Yeah.
Hey, Bill Nye the Science Guy.
Yes.
So Batman
Science.
versus Superman. Now, everybody's biggest problem with that movie is the Martha scene because of how do you know that? name?
Yeah, that was cheesy.
But
that was
it's
cheesy.
one of those things where it's like it humanizes.
It made
Your
sense.
mom's name is
and-
my mom's name?
It made sense.
Yeah.
It did.
You
But,
know,
like,
he
It
did a
turned
lot of.
Batman from, oh my god, this guy isn't totally
Two
alien
people
and
with
foreign after all.
PTSD fighting each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they find that trigger word, and they both have the same one. They're just like,
If anything, my only issue was
Strip
the
him out.
casting of Lex Luthor. Like,
Yeah.
that,
Oh, yeah, that
Jesse
was wrong.
Eisenberg could have been anyone but
yeah.
Brian,
Lex
yeah,
Luthor.
they should have gotten Jesse Heisenberg and got Bryan
Heisenberg.
Cranston to
Yeah.
be.
say my name.
Lex
Say
Luthor.
my name. You're goddamn right.
He's too young. He was too
Yeah.
young to be.
and he was so
like-
zany
Yeah,
and
he-
quirky.
like,
It's like,
yeah.
I love bringing people
He
together.
Yeah.
He wasn't like the smart, witty like guy.
He
that,
was
like,
Yeah.
the Capri Sun of villains.
Yeah.
Like, like what
and
the
then
fuck
he's
is
supposed
that?
to be the, like, uber villain.
He
of
was
the
the
whole
Gogurt
series.
of
the Lex Luthor that played it in Smallville. He was amazing, Lex Luthor.
Oh yeah, I forget his
Ooh,
name.
how about
but
Kevin
yeah.
Spacey's Lex
Michael
Luthor
Rosenbaum.
and Superman Returns?
Superman?
Wrong.
Yeah.
They're like,
Heck,
the-
I'll bring back Kevin Spacey if he wasn't a
Oh yeah.
pedo.
hey, Kevin Spacey. He just came back. Did you see the video he did where?
Yeah.
That day that he
He's-
put out that video, he got like some court subpoena or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's going to
Video
jail.
though. Holy
Oh
crap.
wow,
He's like,
we're Cosbying this son of a bitch.
Yeah, right.
You knew you shouldn't trust me. but
Bill
you did."
Cosby's like, you should have used the drinks. It would have
Wow,
worked
that's like a
better.
I know.
You see,
Dude, that's straight up like.
the pudding pop.
Yo, he put the roofies in the pudding pop.
Excuse me, young lady, would you like a pudding pop?
Would you like to meet my fat Albert?
You're ready for the sock.
Zippity boopity bop bop bop.
You remember those fudgesicles though as a kid though?
Yeah.
And then I'd be like, put a bop bop. And then I didn't even think about. And then turns out Bill Cosby's a horrible man. So.
Yep.
Yeah, up until then,
Allegedly,
everyone's just like, Bill Cosby is
allegedly.
my role model for life and all this
Except
other
when you
things.
find out he roofied someone.
Then they say that, and then everyone's just like, he was my guy, but that was before I figured out that. yeah.
I had somebody tell me they're like, Bill Cosby's innocent. And I'm like, he admitted he did it. He
Yeah.
just said that they were down for the fun time. Like that was his defense, is that they wanted to be drugged up and.
Do you
Those
want to
women
take
wanted
this
to be
That
here
was
and
their
forget
defense,
me
is
not,
that they were
Bill?
consensual. Like he didn't even deny it happened.
Consensual to being drugged by him?
Yeah, because they would want to be
Hey,
drugged up. It did,
Like
Hey,
a- like
this
a
was
fantasy?
consensual rape. Come on, guys.
Well,
Yeah, like, is that what they're implying?
well, yeah,
Like,
like
what
that
the
was the
fuck is
defense is
this?
that it was ecstasying him up, so that they were like, oh, please, let's have a fun time. That was the defense.
Hey,
they didn't even deny
drugged?
it.
I
So
didn't
he's-
know
so
they
he's
were going to
claiming-
not remember the whole night.
So he claimed it was ecstasy then, not roofies.
Yeah, not roofies. Yeah.
Oh.
That was the defense.
that's
Oh.
messed up.
Maybe someone told him that.
So,
How else do you help somebody who's clearly guilty?
It just happened
I'm
like what?
denying
How
I
many
did.
times? Like,
seeing
got
as how we got
accused.
the Bill Cosby,
I mean, that seems like an
ridiculous done.
effective.
Ridiculous amount.
No, we got a
Yeah.
couple more things to go through. How long are we at?
45
I mean, like when you have no other options, it's
All right,
like
we got a couple more things.
Yeah.
All right.
45
No more
minutes.
options.
We
Yes,
never
sir.
No
technic-
survivors.
we
Batman.
what?
we technically never officially went through the Joel Schumacher movies.
Oh, that's the
What's
George
to
Clooney
go
one?
through?
We'll do
There
those. We'll
was-
do Adam West, and then we'll do Batman Beyond. I think Joel Schumacher's. There's not a lot of nice things we can say.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Original.
Don't you,
Schwarzenegger's
Alex?
a fun time.
Alex, don't you mean there's not a lot of ice things?
All
to
those
say?
ice
Not
puns,
ice.
yeah.
Guy, what are you doing now? Put the cookie down.
It is not a
Put the cookie down! No!
Fucking,
Junior.
yo, Kindergarten Cop is the second best Batman movie ever made.
I thought that
Not
was the
Tuma.
Predator.
It's not the Tuma.
Venom. Venom.
But the Joel Schumacher. I mean, I think Batman Forever has. Val Kilmer did a good
They
job
are
as Batman. He is not the problem. His Batman, he's still like, I am Batman. It's still intimidating. And George Clooney in Batman and Robin, he's just like,
MasterCard.
hey, freeze, I'm Batman.
So I feel like Val Kilmer was
you
a
couldn't do it
good
any worse.
Val Kilmer was a good Batman, but it wasn't as good of a Bruce Wayne. But like George Clooney was a great Bruce Wayne, but like I would not choose him for a
Horrible.
Batman. Like
He was terrible.
Yeah.
Like, hey, freeze, I'm Batman. I mean,
Yeah.
how do you
Freeze.
deliver it that bad?
yeah, he's just kind of like
And he pulls out like the Bat ID,
MasterCard?
the MasterCard.
Yeah.
I never leave
And
home without
the
it.
Scooby Doo down the ice
the bat
thing.
nipples. They
The bat nipples, the ice
Can't
hockey
forgive him
sequence,
for that.
the
I'm not-
poison ivy,
Oh my
Uma
God.
Thurman.
Uma
I mean,
Thurman.
everything about that movie is wrong.
And then Bane was a joke. Bane was
was
just
a-
generic henchman number 4.
He's just like, I'm
Yeah.
a big guy and I'm strong. And then when he loses his strength
Bane
serum,
made things
he just does
small.
this little tiny little scrawny thing and he just like gets smacked off to the
Yeah.
side. I knew
Oh.
as a kid that Batman and Robin
Yeah.
was terrible. Like when I was young, I watched it. I'm like, this is bad.
it was a cartoon.
Bane, make things
a live action
small.
cartoon. Yeah.
Bane only
Arnold
pawn in
Schwarzenegger's
Game of
good in
Life.
that though. I do think the one thing I could say nice about Batman and Robin is
Mongo.
Arnold Schwarzenegger at least tries.
Yeah, yeah.
And he's like,
Yeah.
nice to meet you.
There's a reason why
Yeah.
his name comes first. On
Yeah.
on the
Yeah,
poster.
his face is the biggest one on the.
Yeah,
feed.
he's
Well,
centralized.
yeah.
He's like, yeah.
And that's the thing. Those movies were missing Michael Keaton, but the cool thing is, I think something that's close to Batman. Michael Keaton, when he did Birdman, he
Yeah,
kind of
that
was
was an amazing
regaining
movie,
his
yeah.
Batman days.
And then after that, he did that college speaks, and he's just like, "Yeah, I have one more thing to say. I'm Batman."
yeah,
And then he went to a Marvel movie.
he did to play
Yeah,
a
the
guy
Vulture.
with yeah,
Another
a guy
bird.
with wings.
Yeah, another
To play a
bird.
guy with wings.
Yeah, so he's Birdman, Batman, and
The Vulture.
Vulture.
Guy likes birds.
He's a bird kind of man.
Wonder if he watches them.
a little bit of a freak.
Now,
Uh oh.
Adam West Batman. The movie
Adam
is
Yeah.
so good. The
Stop.
bat repellent, the part with the almost human porpoise that sacrifices its life to save them.
I love
Then it
how we don't even
explodes.
see it. That's the explanation they
But
came
he,
up
he
with.
says an almost human porpoise. That is a terrifying idea. That's a half like. That's
Oh my
an
God.
Almost human. Like
That almost human porpoise.
That's-
Yeah, I'm so glad he came along. He gave his life for
it's
us, old
basically
chum.
the movie
What?
Splice. Like it's an almost human porpoise. Like,
I imagine a scene from Alien Resurrection, like, kill me.
and it jumped in front, and it sacrificed itself because it wanted to die.
I want
And
to
now,
die.
now we have to think about the implications of that porpoise. I mean, PETA is probably up.
Pissed.
I
freaking
like
out
how
about
of all
that.
the things in that movie, that's the thing that really gets you.
I love
Not the
one-
bat repellent shark spray.
Yeah, I love that scene.
Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
when the
Like,
shark's
it's
just hanging out
barely,
of the thing.
it just barely
then,
goes
like-
in the water and then comes back out, and this giant shark
is,
is
like,
on his leg.
leg.
It's like
And
you
it's
would
just swinging
get
there.
pulled off of the ladder.
Oh yeah, I know. And, oh,
Didn't that thing explode?
Dude, you
I think it
don't
would have
know
been
that.
better if it would have
That's true,
exploded
you
on
don't
that
know
pack.
that, all right?
come on,
Chill
guys,
out.
guys,
Chill
guys. Jaws 4: The Revenge is the only good shark movie ever made.
No, that's the Meg. Sorry.
Jaws 5, The Meg. Oh my God.
Shut up, man.
We could do a whole episode on bad shark movies. I mean, there's so
Yeah.
many of them.
I think you could do a weekly segment and call it Shark Week. That's not taken, is it?
Oh.
No,
No, that's only once a year. So you just do that every other week.
No,
other
dude,
than
we'll
that
just
one
we'll do
week.
Shark Month.
No one will notice.
Yeah.
We'll do Shark Month.
Shark
There you
Month.
go.
All right.
How about Shark Half Year?
And we'll
The
switch,
shark
then we'll
ending.
switch to half human
Shark Day
porpoises.
seems more practical.
Now,
Shark Day, boo ha ha.
Now, what is interesting?
A 24-hour stream talking about sharks.
Shark Day, ooh ha ha.
Shark Day, who? But
Ooh
Yeah.
bop doo.
we actually didn't talk about Batman Beyond yet, which is
Yeah,
a
Batman
shock.
Beyond.
oh my
because
god.
Static
Bat-
Shock.
That was supposed to be. That was supposed to be the next Batman. That was
Yeah,
supposed
Batman
to-
Beyond was pretty cool.
And it got dark and adult real
Yeah.
quick. Like they killed off his dad and like nothing
first
flattened that
episode,
movie.
yeah.
Yeah, it was like the first episode was turned into a movie. Like, damn, they just killed his dad.
And then
like,
they brought
bam.
the Joker
Yeah, the
back. That was
movie-
cool.
in the movie,
That
it
movie
was-
was sick.
Yeah, the
They
Joker
edited
just
it.
like fucking shows up, and everyone's like, "Whoa!"
Mhm.
And they had to re-edit the Return of the Joker movie like at least once, just because the original version had like blood and
Yeah.
like the torture of
I was gonna
young
say,
Robin.
the one
It was like,
dude-
The Phantom Menace has blood and stuff in it.
What did you just
And-
say? The Phantom Menace, Star Wars episode
Yeah.
1. Phantom Menace.
Batman episode
I always do that. No, the Mask of the
Mask of the Phantasm.
It has blood in it and stuff, but the animated series doesn't. And they originally,
Yeah.
if you watch the first couple episodes, it does have some things with blood in it, and it's because it was supposed to be viewed towards kids.
Yeah,
And then
it's,
they-
like, subtle enough.
And then 3 seasons, or I think it might have been the second season, about halfway through, they started bringing in Robin, and they had
Yeah.
it so they couldn't have an episode without Robin.
Oh yeah, that's when it was like season 2 or 3.
Yeah, it
they
was the
did the
second or
Batman and Adventures of Batman and Robin
Yeah.
rather than just strictly.
Yeah, and
Batman
that was
animated
cool. I
series.
still like that. Adventures of Batman and Robin, that was good too.
I mean, it didn't ruin it, but it's just like a forced thing.
But
like,
yeah,
you can't force.
May the
force a
force
character.
be with you.
Yeah, I mean, if you had Star Wars, it's okay.
Now with Batman Beyond, if they were to make that into a live-action movie, wouldn't it be awesome if they got Christopher Nolan to come on and do Batman Beyond? I think
With
it-
Christian Bale as
yeah,
like a
that'd
old
be pretty
Batman.
cool. Or they get Michael Keaton to be old Batman.
Ooh, that would be cool too.
That
yeah.
would be cool.
Be an interesting combination.
I think Christian Bale could still play it.
He
old.
plays young Batman.
Yeah, he could be
He could
the.
play
the
old Batman. Or
he could
whatever.
be Batman.
I mean, he
Beyond,
played
and
Dick
then-
Cheney. He could do anything.
Yeah, he could do anything.
Yeah, you can pretty much. Yeah, he's,
Christian
I mean,
Bale's
Dick
like,
Cheney
what do you
is
need me
a-
to do? I'll put on 20 years, whatever you
Yeah,
child.
maybe be younger. Okay.
I'll take off 20 years. What do you need me to do?
And definitely Dick Cheney is a cartoon character.
yeah, for real.
I mean, he's that evil guy who lives in that thing in the swamp that
Yeah,
Doom
right?
lives in.
Shrek?
Somebody once told me the world was gonna roll me.
Get off of my swamp!
What are you doing in my swamp?
Yo, Shrek is love. Shrek is life.
No.
So we're
I
gonna
think you
watch
mean
those
Dick is
tonight,
love,
right?
Dick is
Not.
life. Dick Cheney.
We should watch all of them. All like 5 of them.
We are fans of the Shrekening.
The Shrekening. The Reckoning.
Yo, what if Shrek was the final meme? When we evolve to Shrek.
How about this? What if Shrek was an enemy in a Batman movie?
That's
Yo,
kinda
there is
cool.
a
The horror
hack. Yo,
Batman
Derek,
movie.
for Rome Total War, there's a hack where
Oh, I know
you
what you're
make
talking
it-
about.
There's the aliens, the predators, Shrek, Teletubbies.
I'm pretty sure like anything you can think of is like
Yeah, like, there's
it's
all
something
these
you can
different game,
mod to make it the sprites.
Yeah, all different things. They have a Game of Thrones is one of the factions you can play. So like, there's
Oh, yeah.
all
Not
those things.
surprised.
At least
And it's
Game of
just-
Thrones makes sense. Shrek is
Yeah,
like
exactly.
So you have Shrek
Ogres
as the
everywhere.
Teletubbies, and
Okay.
Donkey is the horse, and it's just
Okay, we should probably like end this because we've gotten now to
Yeah, I was
Shrek.
gonna say.
I was
gonna say, we should,
evolved
but
to Shrek.
But I did want to say I
Shrek is
saw
evolving.
I saw one of these Facebook things the other day that was just like an artist's rendition of like a comic that just like made a story, and the story was like Shrek, or yeah, it was like Shrek and Squidward are like they kind of have this like thing with each other. They like kind of look at each other funny, and then like it like goes ahead to like one day when like Squidward's on the ground, like he's like kind of like crying because he's getting bullied by someone. Apparently they're in school. And he turns around, he looks up at his bullies. It's Garfield and Sans from Undertale, and Shrek comes over like helps him up, and then Garfield just fucking shoots Shrek. And fucking Squidward comes over. He's like, "No, Shrek, I love you," and he goes, and Shrek goes, "No homo," closes his eyes and dies. And that's it. That's the whole video.
Is this on
I
YouTube?
just-
Can I find this?
Probably.
I'll have to search for it somewhere.
Search.
But
The
yeah.
search for Shrek.
We're at close to it now, right? I think.
I got one more thing.
Oh.
One more thing.
There
more thing.
there is one like comic that came out a little bit ago with Amalgam Comics, and it's a blend of Marvel and DC.
Oh yeah, they combine them together.
They combined Batman and Wolverine.
Oh my God,
And he's-
Dark Claw.
It's the Dark Claw, yeah. And
Superman and Captain America are
and the
combined.
Joker is like a hyena instead of like he's like the Joker,
makes-
but he's a
makes
hyena too, and so it's like Sabretooth.
Oh right,
And,
they ma-
yeah. And it's a pretty. They only made they only made one comic out of it, but it was like leading up to others. And then I guess it got shut down by DC and Marvel.
There was I have a graphic novel, and it's DC versus Aliens.
Yeah.
And what it is,
yeah.
it's the Batman
Yeah,
versus
Batman versus
Alien
Aliens.
and Superman versus Predator.
Yeah, they also have a Batman versus Predator. I think.
Yeah, they did that too.
Yeah.
It's in a jungle, and
Yeah.
then, yeah. What's really interesting about those comics is that I mean, I'm a big fan of Alien and Aliens and all that stuff, so I get all those. So, but it was really interesting that
Nerd.
my Laserdisc collection speaks against that. I have all the Laserdiscs. I am a cool kid. Why are you laughing? I'm serious,
Dude,
And-
Laserdisc, isn't that just a DVD?
bro.
I mean, it technically is.
I have CVDs, which shows how beyond you I am. I am better than everyone at this table.
I can't hear you over the
dude,
sound
laser-
of your laser disc collection.
Laser discs are just records to CDs.
They're just records you
Lazy-
can watch.
It's like what records are
They're
to
analog.
CDs.
It's analog. Analog.
Yeah, that's why they're not popular.
They're
dude. It's
analog.
not as good.
They're analog.
It's not as good.
Let's talk about
Digital's better.
Betamax.
Digital clipping
Nobody
is
likes
better.
Betamax.
How about
Actually,
those black
Betamax is-
cylinders Thomas Edison had to
Those
use
are the
for
most
like...
hi-fi you can get.
There's
There's no
I
wide.
am hi-fi.
It's like it pretty much goes. It's like pretty much from top to bottom. It's like MP3.
I think from tom to
CD,
bottom.
He pointed at me, so he's talking about me.
Tom is a flack.
Tom to bottom.
From tom to bottom.
Anyway, the best sounding format is 8-track. We all know that.
What if I am the bottom?
Okay, let's wrap this Batman
Yeah, let's,
podcast
So
up.
yeah, I'm just gonna
Batman.
conclude in that Batman versus Aliens thing. It is really cool because it's something totally different than what you're expecting, and all these like Colonial Marines are kind of struggling with the aliens, and then all of a sudden Batman shows up and he uses his tools and stuff, and it's just it reminds you like how much stuff Batman has. He's like, I'm rich.
yeah.
Wait,
Money-
wait.
Elon Musk is Batman.
Yeah,
and I can
yeah.
see like Elon Musk is
Well,
like,
Elon
okay,
Musk is
here's
Iron
What if
Man.
what
Right.
if they made a fourth Batman
Yo.
movie where like Batman's alive and it's Elon Musk?
Yo,
I've
yo,
never
yo.
seen Elon Musk and Batman
Yo.
in the same room together.
That's true.
So.
You know,
Whoa.
yeah.
Batman
Alright, hold
versus
on.
Iron Man.
Oh, jeez.
The
And
rich
it's
man.
Elon Musk.
versus Iron Man.
Alex,
Yeah.
to be fair, to go back to Justice League, he's talking to the Flash. He's like, "Oh my gosh, what power do you have?" He's like, "I'm rich."
Yeah.
Hashtag Illuminati.
Hashtag
Illuminati confirmed.
Hashtag bring back Zack Snyder. Hashtag
Hashtag Snyder cut.
Justice League 2, thank you very much.
Electric Boogaloo.
Electric
Yo,
Boogaloo.
Hashtag
the
Venom.
guy who did the Guardians of the Galaxy
Gotta get
movie
'em,
is doing
Venom.
Suicide Squad 2, and
Oh, yeah?
that is.
So that movie will feel like Guardians of the Galaxy and be good.
I'm okay with
I
that
hope.
though.
Why
I
did they
hope.
fire that guy? Sorry, I clipped.
Because
So why did they fire that
no, you
guy?
didn't.
For,
Yo, what,
for-
Tom?
for freaking
Mar-
Guardians?
Marvel can't do wrong. What are you talking about? It's Mar.
What were they thinking?
But Marvel.
That was like his. That was his like
I'm
child.
Did you say
Or
why
Jane-
did they or why did they not?
Why-
Because I thought they did.
Why
They
did
fired
they?
him
did.
because he made some like tweets that were a little
Yeah.
bold.
What? That like he was the guy who brought that to life.
Yeah, but that kind of
He's
started.
the reason it's good.
Yeah, but that like started with
they're
that
more-
Roseanne.
They
Take
think
the
they can
auteur
repla-
away from.
They think
the
they can
person who
replace
created it.
anybody.
Yeah, like
because
that.
it's
Like
Disney.
think about with like
Your cash.
Roseanne. Like she just said like the N word on Twitter,
and then it's done.
yeah, they shut down her show, which they just restarted, and then they killed her off.
They
They
wrote her out of
restarted it
her
back
own
up
show.
and killed her.
They
like,
wrote her out of her own show.
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah.
and not in a good way either. They gave her a like drug overdose. Like, like yeah.
hey, let's Charlie Sheen this thing
Yeah,
and write him
exactly.
out.
It's just like
Is that what happened with
nowadays,
Charlie
if
Sheen?
you
They killed
say
him off in the
something,
show?
Yeah, they
that's
killed him
negative,
off
I
in
didn't know
Two and a
that.
Half Men
Two and a
too.
Half
They
Men.
killed
I
off
thought
Charlie.
Ashton Kutcher just became his character.
Oh, that shit. It only
No,
lasted.
he wasn't recast. They killed him
We
off.
don't
They're like,
talk
"There's
about
no
that.
way he's going
Yeah.
Two and a Half
Yeah.
Men, when they changed, it went.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, we took the good part out of that.
But that's such like a.
Ashton Kutcher only works when he's supposed to play the idiot.
That's such a huge
Because he's good in the
insult, though.
ranch.
We're gonna
and
replace
he's
you with
good
Ashton
in that
Kutcher.
70s show.
You're
I
replaceable.
love that 70s show. and
Well,
he's
guys,
fun.
this has been a fantastic Batman
Yeah.
discussion.
Yeah, kind of trash.
Ashton
we're-
Kutcher is
multiple
next Batman.
times.
All right.
I'm telling you.
Hashtag
Well,
Ashman
listen,
jobs,
listen,
right?
We're done. I'm hitting the stop button. It's over.
Goodbye.
All right.
It's never over.
Wait. We might have something more to say. I don't know.
We could
Wait,
quick
what
wrap
did I
up
say?
everything.
Yeah, let's wrap it up.
Let's wrap it up. So
Close out.
we went in depth on the Nolan trilogy. We visited the animated series. We went into Batman Beyond. We talked Batman versus Superman. We did Justice League talk.
He thinks his mic is still on.
Oh, are we really done?
Wait, did
no,
you turn-
I just turned it all the way down. We're still going.
Oh, should we do like an outro? Like we've been.
There you
so
go, buddy. Your mic's back up. There you go.
I'm offended. I lost speaking privileges.
For like 5
You took away my
seconds.
privilege, and I'm not okay.
Check your privilege, bruh. Bat privilege.
That should be one of the Batman things on his belt. This is my bat privilege.
My bat card.
All
His
right.
bat privilege.
Okay, this was a
makes up for Big
fantastic
Rich
discussion.
and White.
We'll see you guys
took it,
next time.
See you next
Oh.
time.
Adios.
Bye.
Hasta luego.